The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
People. Man, oh man, it's got to be the truth. Jake DeBrusk watches Locked On Canucks, okay? He took the threats. Not the threats, okay? I just asked this guy to replace JT Miller, and I think he's listening, okay? Because this dude is something else right now. Let's talk about it as the Canucks beat Detroit. What was the score, 5-4? A couple of hours ago? Boom! What a time to be alive.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
People. Well, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode of Locked On Canucks at the Burnaby Gardens. One love to Five Guy, one love to V. Hey, one love to the Don't Doze Art Left for, taking care of their neighbors. And one love to the Locked On Podcast Network, okay? Teaching you that it's about your Canucks every day. What? We already know that. We got the diehards here. The real ones here. Give a round of applause to you and you, okay? A lot of you were much more optimistic than I was a couple of days ago when I was going through it, okay? I got our ass kicked in Pittsburgh, and I was depressed. I slept over at my parents' house. I didn't shower for 2 days. Yeah, you think I'm lying? I don't lie. The name's Kyle Bowen. It gets sensitive over here. All that being said, since then, the Canucks, they showed gutsy efforts. Yes, against the Buffalo Sabres and the Detroit Red Wings. Pretty much the same team. Not really, but you know what I'm saying? But they pick up 4 points, and again, gutsy, manly. Effort. Can we start there? The effort. That's what matters. And still, we've played all these games, and I don't think the Canucks have played a lot of 60-minute games. But man, oh man, the effort in Buffalo, at times, at long times, and the effort in Detroit at long times was nice. It was worth it. What we saw in Pittsburgh wasn't. And we've seen that type of effort 5 or 6 times already this year. That's enough. That's enough. I don't want any of that. At the floor again. We need this from a team, again, that's just starting to learn how to win the right way. It's only been 14, 15, 16 months. This is how they got to play. This is how Tocchet has to have the boys doing their thing. Hey, speaking of Tocchet, there was a note. I don't know if you heard this, but I did. It was early in the morning. My ears were working. First period, the Canucks look slow. Very slow. No espresso in the morning for all of them. It seemed as if they didn't want to be there. And John Shorthouse, he said something, right? Or was it Dave Tomlinson? He talked about during the commercial break, and I'm paraphrasing just a bit, but I heard it. He told the people, right? Rick Tocchet, quote unquote, laying into the boys more than he usually does, okay? AKA coaching. Coaching another way that we're used to seeing from Tocchet, okay? Being more assertive within the game, with his voice, with his emotion. Again, this was at the first period. The boys were sleepy, but afterwards, they were the better team. The Canucks deserved to win that game. And so did Kevin Lankinen. Allowed 4 goals, but he was the better goalie out of the 3 that played. All that being said, again, Tocchet, doing that subtle thing. Head coaching. Changing it up. It just set the tone, okay? It allowed the game to settle in our way. And when it did, the other alpha in the room, okay? He did his thing, and that's Quinn Hughes. 31 minutes. 31 minutes of action. I can't believe we're doing this, okay? 4 minutes into the episode, barely talking about Jake DeBrusk, but yo, Quinn Hughes. 31 minutes of action, okay? 3 assists. An absolute dog, okay? The Detroit Red Wings head coach, he needs to be fired tomorrow. This team fails to scout Quinn Hughes the right way. There's the head coach of the Detroit Red Wings with a couple minutes left in overtime, or whatever the time was. There's a face-off outside the Vancouver zone. And there's the Detroit head coach calling a timeout. It makes absolutely no sense, okay? You gave Quinn Hughes another 45 seconds to rest, to get back on the ice. And what did they do? They put on Hughes, Pettersson, and DeBrusk, and they did the rest. But again, Quinn Hughes, 31 minutes. 3 assists, 10 shot attempts. I swear to you today, Quinn Hughes did not remind me of Cale Makar. He reminded me of Nathan McKinnon. And it makes sense. You watch the film, not only of what he did today, but you start watching how he just takes over games with assertiveness. He puts the team on his back. Let me make chaos happen. Okay, even if it's a shot that's about to get blocked, maybe if it's a weak shot attempt, who cares? I'm going to be the man. I'm going to get it done. Let's make something happen. I'm Quinn Hughes. This dude's confidence at an all-time high, and he's attacking time in and time out. He is attacking. It's a beautiful thing. It's a chaotic thing. It's the right thing to do. The team is missing Hronek, Miller, still missing Demko. They've been through a lot this season with missing pieces, right? No Joshua early on. But here's Quinn Hughes with 28 points in 23 games, if my math is correct. Now the all-time leader in assists for defensemen for Canucks defensemen, right? All time. It says a lot. Also, it doesn't say a lot, too. We've had some pretty bad defensemen over the years. There are just not a lot of guys that, rise to the top. Not a lot of cream of the crop defensemen. Speaking of cream, lotion up your elbows, okay? It makes a difference. Where am I going with this? Quinn Hughes, the dog. The best player in Canucks history, en route. The only dude or the only captain to ever, lift the Stanley Cup, no doubt, too. He's one of the best 5 players in the game. That guy's going to get the job done. I think he's learned a lot. During, obviously, his life, but his recent hockey life, right, the playoff experience has brought in Quinn Hughes' game to another level defensively. And the sky's the limit. And I'm circling it. When is it? January, right? Another match against the Oilers. Yes, they live rent-free in my mind. They beat us a couple months ago. I'm an immature 31-and-a-half-year-old. Let it be. They live rent-free in my mind. I'm circling that date in January. Hey, Ashneel, if you're watching this, let's go to the game. I want to see Quinn Hughes against the Oilers, okay? I want to see this guy. When they played a couple weeks ago, Quinn Hughes was not good. I need to see top 5, top 4 Quinn Hughes go up against Connor McDavid because, again, the dude is just so lethal. Reminds me of Nathan McKinnon. He's putting on a Hart Trophy-like year, and he's just getting better, okay? On pace for 100 points, and there's a good chance he gets it. Because, again, he's been assertive. He's putting this team on his back. Hey, speaking of which, you know this as well. Jake DeBrusk, he did a lot of that today as well, okay? And ultimately, he replaced JT Miller. Again on this trip. 7 goals, as Bob Bluger is saying, in his last 5 games. On the road, this guy's been an absolute unit. And again, replacing JT Miller. That's a huge hole. We needed offense from a lot more people. It had to come by committee, right? It had to, based on what the coach said. But we knew it. Okay, if you're listening to Locked On Canucks, it's like, yo, why does this have to be a committee thing? Why do we need more from Heinen? Why do we need more from Höglander? How about the guy that we gave 7 years? 7 years to of commitment. All that money. How about that guy not wait till the playoffs to step up? Because this is a moment. November is April. No Miller. No Hronek. No Demko. Jake DeBrusk. Do something. Do something. And we called that out, right, during the Rangers game. Close game. We lost it. A lot of good things happened in that game. A lot of bad things, including Jake DeBrusk being invisible. Right? That's the first game without Miller. He didn't do much, and it was like, yo, dude, you gotta do a little bit of something at least. And on the road, since then, he's just been effective. And honestly speaking, like, I think there's so much more to that guy still. 5-on-5 on even strength. Away from scoring goals, okay? I think the best is yet to come. I think he gets a little bit faster during the playoffs. He definitely gets a lot more physical because he's not really a fearsome player, right? With his physicality just yet. He's saving that for April. We get to see that. But at the same time, his ability to just pick up rebounds, make everything count in front of the net. It's a beautiful thing. But that goal, speaking of beautiful, that goal he scored in overtime, that was lethal. That's why you get the 7th year on that contract. And that's why I owe him an apology, okay? I do. Because he did what I asked him to do, and that's replace JT Miller. Who knows? And rightfully so. Take as long as you want. JT Miller, the legend in the city. Everyone's favorite player, the dog, the heart and soul of the Vancouver Canucks. Take your time. Oh, you can do it. There's a lot of top-end talent here, even without you, right? We talked about Connor Garland being way better than we thought he was. 21 points in 23 games, okay? A Warrior. He's playing way better. Maybe he can, again, replace JT Miller. Now Jake DeBrusk. I know he's coming home soon, but with one more game in Minnesota on the road, I just feel as if this guy is, he's on one. And he's playing with somebody who's on it too, okay? Elias Pettersson, 16 points in his last 11 games. Look at this, positive. Again, let me know in the comments. Remember me a couple days ago? After that Pittsburgh game, right? Again, man, didn't shower for 2 days. Luckily, I do my own laundry, okay? Since then, like me, the Canucks have gone streaking. That's a beautiful thing. Gutsy effort. Rick Tocchet doing his thing. Hey, you doing your thing too. I see the comments going off. Let's just read all those comments after we run some commercials, okay? For real. Because we all watched the game together. Isn't it funny, though, like, how this game happened like 7 hours ago? I know every single one of you already listened to the Sportsnet post-game show, right? You got to do it because you're addicted to the Vancouver Canucks, right? It's like oxygen. You already consumed that, and now you're doing this. Hey, just feeding off of a win against the Detroit Red Wings, right? The eyes are plant. We beat Steve Yzerman. Still feels great. All these hours later, and it's only game 23. Anywho, one love to FanDuel, Gametime. Let's talk about it. And then again, get to some of your questions here on Locked On Canucks, the show that gives you your Canucks every day. Again, one love to the Burnaby Gardens and the Don't Those Art Lab and the collective for looking after the neighbors, okay? How are we going to look after the world if we're not even looking after our neighbors? Now let's talk some more hockey in a couple of minutes. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel! Okay, Trevor and his daughter, they don't watch Coco Melon together, okay? They gambling together? Bro, they using FanDuel because they love the NFL. And they love their Seattle Seahawks, okay? Speaking of which, keep tackling the NFL action with FanDuel, America's number one sportsbook, right now. Look at this. Merry Christmas to you and you and you and you, right? You place a $5 bet, and if you win that $5 bet, FanDuel's going to be like, good job. Congratulations, you're smart. Here's $150. And bonus bets, okay? That's crazy. Play with this. Win some real money with these bonus bets. That's something else, okay? The FanDuel Sportsbook gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, do live play-by-play, and do so much more on the same page where you place your bets. That's efficient, okay? Join FanDuel.com at FanDuel.com and do so today. Again, $5. You place a $5 bet. Your first bet, you win that bet. Boom, bam. What do you get? $150 in bonus bets. Merry Christmas, okay? That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the National Football League. Let's go to game time next, all right? One love to Game Time. They doing it. Speaking about saving money on Christmas. You need some last minute tickets because before you know it, you'll be last minute shopping for your girlfriend, right? For real. Your partner. You just do it. Always last. And maybe you want to go to a concert, a game, maybe a Canucks game. If you're going to do so, use Game Time. It's a beautiful place, okay? It's the place where you get the best deals on these last minute tickets, guaranteed. Come on, I'm offended. I've used this a couple times. The Islanders game from last year. I got some money. Saved on that. Used Locked On NHL, right? LOCKEDON NHL. I got what? $20 off my first purchase. It does the thing. When green peppers are $12, you got to use Game Time. It's the real thing. And they don't lie to you, right? The all-in pricing, what you see is what you pay. You get the seat views. Obviously, it's game time. And again, the lowest price guarantee, okay? They'll credit you what? 110% of the difference. If you find something cheaper, game time. They got that ticket coverage too, man. Anyways, download the Gametime app, create an account, and use Locked On NHL for $20 off your first purchase. Again, terms apply, but create an account at Locked On NHL for $20 off. Create an account at Gametime and use Locked On NHL for $20 off. Download Gametime today. What time is it? It's time for me to learn how to read. And it's time for Game Time. People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. And as Kurt Richardson is saying, yo, if you hit the like button, I'll be able to buy some groceries, okay? Bell peppers. I cook with bell peppers, man. It's a FanDuel thing. Google it, okay? Google what the Findoos like to eat, and you'll be surprised. A lot of chicken chow mein. Anyways, your Canucks. They win a game again. 5-4. Entertaining game, okay? Straight up. Anyone really mad that they got up for that? No, not really. Because we're talking about you and you and you and you, okay? Diehard people, loyal people. You watching that game. And completely entertaining. Lankinen doing a bit of scrambling, all right? Because the Vancouver Canucks are playing defense. And there he was, yes, allowing 4 goals, but still being so solid, still being that dog, right? One of the first goalies, right, in NHL history. I think he's like on a short list to start the season 10-0 on the road. It makes you think, right? Okay, think about this. You really want to preserve and protect Thatcher Demko? I don't mean this, but I know Trevor Beggs is thinking about it, okay? He's the darkest guy on the program. How about this, okay? Thatcher Demko. Let's take care of his knees. Never hit the road. Never take a flight until April, okay? Don't sit down for long periods of time. Well, we don't need you to do that. We got Kevin Lankinen. He'll play every road game, and you play every home game. That's science, baby. It's also fascinating, okay? Kevin Lankinen, 10-0 on the road. That's something else, man. What a show-off. You know what he's doing, right? Some of these teams he's playing, they probably need a goaltender. And look at what he's looking like. One of the best in the league. Speaking of which, Andrew's saying that Lankinen and Demko could be the best duo in the NHL. Yo, remember there was a time where Shelovs and Demko would have done the same? Come on. Sometimes you're wrong. I was saying that. Sometimes you go left, sometimes you go right. It is what it is. Prove me wrong. One love to Kevin Lankinen. The ultimate garage sale find. The backup to the team that Shelovs beat in the playoffs. There's a lot of irony there. A lot of disbelief, too. Cool story, and one love to Kevin Lankinen. And one love to the Vancouver Canucks. Again, look, as Happy Jacks is saying. The Canucks be breaking records. Quinn Hughes always breaking records. Always breaking records. Kevin Lankinen now breaking records. How is that possible? Talk about different ends of the spectrum. And Quinn Hughes, man. Quinn Hughes. Like, you can compare him to Nathan McKinnon, and now I can compare him to Bobby Orr, and it all makes sense. Who is this guy? He's going to be the first captain again to lift the Stanley Cup and bring it home. It's never been like this. We've been around for 50-plus years. That's a lot of years. A lot of people have died, okay? Straight up, without seeing their favorite team ever win a Stanley Cup. That is sad. That is regretful. Dude, I'll say this. That's not worth it. Here we are. This is why I tell the people, drink a lot of water right now. 14 liters a day. 4 liters a day. Not 14, okay? 4 liters a day. At least 5. Drink a lot of water. Stick around. Take care of your eyes, because it's going to happen. As long as this guy's a Vancouver Canuck, we have a good chance. Our best chances, maybe, to win a Stanley Cup. Bobby McKinnon, man. That's his new nickname, okay? I got to make those t-shirts. Bobby McKinnon, a.k.a. Quinn Hughes. Look at this comment from Clifford Reynolds, man. One love to the Discord, okay? Join it. For some reason, he's talking about Pat Quinn. Maybe that's what you guys are doing in the comments, okay? Pat Quinn was one of our original guys. He's no longer with us. And a little bit of irony here because I was driving in the city and, you see the street sign, right? Pat Quinn Way, right around Rogers Arena. It's nostalgic, man. It's a beautiful thing. And then obviously I did what I always do, right? I stay in the moment, but then I fly high to the future. And I'm thinking, man, Quinn Hughes Boulevard? What? Dude, straight up. This dude's going to do it. Be the most iconic man in Vancouver. What a player. Look at this comment from Bob Bluger. You want to talk about, what a player. Pius Suter. 25 goals. Is he going to get 25 goals? That's what Bob Bluger is asking. Is he going to get 30? He looks like a subtle guy, right? The Swiss Army knife. People like to call him that. There's got to be a movie down the road. Quentin Tarantino, you got to produce that. The Swiss Army knife. You know what I'm saying? You can take it to a lot of places. Just like Pius Suter is doing with his hockey career. Such a versatile player, can play everywhere and impressing a lot of people. And you know what meant a lot for him? You could see it in his face to score against the Detroit Red Wings on a big play, right? He breaks up the play in the defensive zone by himself, skates with it on a 2-on-1, and a sinister shot. Okay, that's a hard shot. That's a mean shot. That's a better shot than Elias Pettersson has right now. And right now, Pius Suter has more goals, a couple more goals than Elias Pettersson. Was that 9 for him? That is something else. A UFA year from that guy. Guy's playing for a contract. Hey, we just human beings at the end of the day. He's also playing because he loves hockey. You can see it in his eyes. He loves the boys. These boys are committed. Committed to picking up the slack, pulling through, staying in games. You can see it on his face. He cares when he's an addition to the box score during these games. More so than the average guy. Like a Pius Suter, not the average player. The more and more you watch him play, you're just so incredibly grateful for his, I don't want to say subtle greatness, but his subtleness, okay? He's so efficient. He's always in the right places. And defensively speaking, you cannot tell me that he's not one of our 3 best defensive forwards. I think most of the time he's 2, right behind Pettersson. Maybe Besser, squeezes him out in that top 2 sometimes. But, Pius Suter is so important to this team. And, you talk about how many goals he may score. You talk about his next contract. Is that going to come with the Vancouver Canucks? Who knows? Who knows? But this guy is the guy you want. You want to hold on to. Or he's a guy also that you want Atu Ratu learning from. The intelligence, man. He's got something to him. Look at this comment from Happy Jacks, okay? Rename Vancouver to Quintown. Rename Vancouver to Quintown. I don't know why I read Quinton first. It sounded cool. Anyways, dude, if Quinn Hughes wins a Stanley Cup, man, and brings it to Vancouver, I guarantee he's going to get a 10% share of every single Cactus Club in the city. You know how much money this dude's going to be making? Cactus Club? And bro, again, you just got to do it just for the love. What a legend. Look at this comment from Burn Sticks, okay? One of my favorite commenters. Not that I favoritize more than others. He just always writing cool. I don't know. Something about Burn Sticks. Look at the name. Well, what's a Burn Sticks? What's he saying here, okay? The morning games. They freak me out. But they're a good time. Okay? Might have more hair if first periods weren't as freaky. Our goalies are really, really good. Yeah, the Canucks, man. I don't know what's going on. How many times have we got scored on first so far this season? I think we've played 23 games, right? If my math is correct. I think we've been scored on 46 times already this season first. And as Burn Six is alluded to, come on. He's losing hair. But that's the sacrifice, man. Honestly. If I did not watch the Canucks and Packers, I would not be balding. And look at this. Somebody said my head, my bald spot was shining bright today. during the day. It was a beautiful day in Vancouver. I was out and about. I've never gotten that compliment before. Your bald spot is looking nice tonight. What? Looking shiny. It's looking nice underneath the sun. What the? Dude, was that racism? Well, what was that? That's how much it hurt. Okay? Anyways. Look at my bald spot. That's blood, sweat, and tears. That's cheering for your Vancouver Canucks. That's sacrifice. And I don't regret it. I don't regret it losing hair watching this team. When the Canucks are winning games and just in the fight, which is something that I do want to touch on more before we end this episode, which will happen in like a couple minutes. But when they're doing their thing and they're competitive and they actually matter because wins and losses matter again, right? Because 2 years ago, we were playing the lottery game right now, clicking a button, okay? Worse than TikTok, the stuff Canucks fans were doing, okay? Playing the lottery simulator. Like, what pathetic hating the game of hockey to a point. Anyways, we're here. I'm grateful that I might be losing hair stressing about wins and losses on a Sunday against Detroit or Buffalo. Caring more about the result of, the end of those 3 hours of viewing more so than I do at, other important things in my life. End of the day, I'm just here once. And Vancouver matters, right? And then the Canucks, the first love of my life. And, yeah. Where am I going with this? I'm getting emotional. I might start crying. Love the Canucks. Anyways, let's end on this note, okay? The fight. The Vancouver Canucks are showing recently, right? In the wins against Buffalo and Detroit. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? They blew a 2-goal lead in Buffalo in the third period. They even take a penalty after the game is tied. They kill it, though, do their thing, and they ultimately win in overtime. Look at today, okay? Have a 1-goal lead going into the third. Detroit scores 2 goals right away. It's 3-2. The Canucks don't have Hronek, Miller, Demko, going through a lot of stuff. 5th game on a road trip. They're playing a 9:30 game. There's a recipe there for them to just not try as hard. But you could see that they were moving. They were skating. That's what happens when you play Quinn Hughes every second shift, right? He just, creates that culture. And he also has the puck a lot, which is a good thing for your hockey team. But, hey, everyone around him was bought in to the comeback. Let's do this. Let's make this happen. Look at our captain. He's trying to make everything happen. This game matters. The last 15 minutes matter. And, hey, look at what they did. They pulled through. Brandstrom ties the game after Pedersen shows cerebralness, all right? Not 2 seconds earlier when he kind of fanned on his shot right in the slot. It would have been nice for him to go bar down there. But, hey, he gets behind the net and does his thing, slows down the game. I'm Elias Pettersson. You're going to play at my pace and gets it to Brandstrom. Boom, bam. The game is tied. And then a couple minutes later, boom, bam, we have another 2 points. This team, they fight. And again, 5 days ago, 4 days ago, after Pittsburgh, I was defeated. I was knocked out. I was dark. I was down and out. I was confused. The Canucks just got their ass kicked for like the 6th time this season. What the hell is going on? Where's the effort? I was doubtful. And I was wrong. Straight up. And what I was mostly wrong of was not really appreciating how the Vancouver Canucks finished out that game, right? They were down 5-1. No Miller, no Demko, a lot of noise on the road, right? Back to back. They played in Boston the night before. That was a tough game. Didn't do ish in that game too, but hey, they got the dub because they were blocking everything. They were playing hard. And there I was again, not really paying any attention, giving any love to the fact that that team got it to 5-4 and had a couple chances at the end of the game to get it to 5-5. I said, no moral victories. No moral victories. Based on the fact that we embarrassed ourselves early on in the game, I was already out. There was nothing to be gained there. But again, I was wrong. They showed fight in that last 30 minutes too. For a young team that, again, just started winning games again. 14, 15 months, they have the winning, quote unquote, is not a part of their culture, right? They can't just lean on what they are, their DNA, and get the job done. They still got to do the work, right? They still got to do the work to be that team. And there they are, time in and time out, when their backs are against the wall, still trying to do their thing. More often than not. And yeah, we got our ass kicked by New Jersey and the Oilers and all that jazz. But, bro, again, you look at history, and I just feel as if the Canucks, more often than not, like 90% of the time, they never give up. They never give up. That's humility. That's taking it serious. That's a beautiful thing. And I respect that. So, again, I was wrong a couple days ago, and the Canucks shoved it up my you-know-what, and I don't give an ish because it feels good to be proven wrong by the Vancouver Canucks. We are all locked on Canucks. We are all Canucks. And we're winning games right now. Grateful. Super blessed. And the road trip ends in a couple of days against Minnesota. I already see a lot of people just doubting us, right? Doubting us. We're going to get our asses kicked. Minnesota playing really well. Well, we'll see what happens, though. Okay, for real. Kevin Lankinen. I feel like anything can happen when Kevin Lankinen is in the game. But, I'll be here. Watching neutrally, okay? Maybe I won't throw so much emotion at the result of the game. Who knows? I'm just Kyle Bound all over the place. Well, let's end it on this note, though, okay? Kurt Richardson giving a shout-out to Noah Juleson, okay? Played a hell of a game. Put his body on the line, all right? Way better than Vincent Desharnais. Every single time this guy plays, he just proves that point, okay? We did not need Vincent Desharnais. We got Noah F. and Juleson, and he just had multiple block shots, right? Doing his thing, putting his body on the line. One love to that guy. Straight up. I love that effort. Again, effort matters. Care matters. Doing whatever it takes. Noah Juleson right now, he's doing whatever it takes. Not perfect, but again, doing whatever it takes. I don't care. If you're blocking 2 shots on the same power play via a one-timer from the Brinket, you're just more of a man than me. Congratulations. Anywho, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Again, thanks to the Burnaby Gardens, man, for taking care of the space and for allowing us a place to give you and you and you and you this, okay? A place where, we just got to connect with our neighbors and talk some Vancouver Canucks. One love to the Locked On Podcast Network for telling us that we have to tell the people that it's your Canucks every day. One love to Trevor Beggs, the second best dad in the world. And do your thing, man. Go Canucks, go. See you on I guess I'll see you tomorrow. But hey, the Canucks play on Tuesday, and I'm looking forward to it. One love to the team in blue and green because they gutsy, man. They gutsy, man. I believe hard again. Okay, thank you. I'm smoking the Canuck pack tonight. Okay, peace.